Hello and welcome to another video, and today we are going to talk about a game that I've wanted to talk about and review for a couple weeks here. The first actual game that is a true exclusive to the Xbox Series X, and that is the Medium. So I had a chance to finally sit down and finish the Medium this past weekend, and I walked away more or less really happy with the game, happy with how it turned out. There are some glaring technical issues at times. I will say when I started the game when it first released, and then due to some other stuff, I didn't get back to it for a little bit. In between that time, they actually patched the game. So when they patched the game, they actually fixed some of the technical issues. I won't say it's perfect, it's not. And if you want a deeper dive on the technical issues of this game, please go check out Digital Foundry's excellent video about exactly what's going on with it there. But what I will sit here and say is that I think it is one of the best overall horror games I've played in recent memory, and I think that it's definitely worth your time on Game Pass. And that's the biggest caveat I will say here. If you don't have Xbox Game Pass, it's not worth $60. So that's the biggest thing I would say. I feel like it would fall in about the $30 category if I were to pay actual money for it, but it's on Game Pass, and again, Game Pass is a great service. I cannot recommend it enough. Great way to experience this game. The other thing I will say is this game is truly exclusive to the Xbox Series consoles, so it is not available to play on the Xbox One or the Xbox One X or One S. So, which is crazy that there's like 5 different platforms we can talk about. But it is also available on PC. I did install it on my PC, but I just didn't have a chance to look at the PC version. Judging from some of the stuff that I saw about the PC version, it looks like that's not the best route to go anyways. Things I'll touch upon here. The game is 30 frames a second, and I know a lot of people ruffled a lot of feathers in the gaming community when they announced that it's only going to run at 30 frames. It's a horror game. It's an old school horror game with the almost kind of tank controls and camera angles. I think 30 frames is just fine for that. And I know people are going to get up in arms because I said 30 frames is fine, but I think for this game it works. It makes sense. There's no issues with it being 30 frames. I didn't really see any frame rate issues with it being at 30 frames. Like, it didn't drop or anything like that. With that being said, there's a couple things I think I wouldn't have done here. So it is possible for this game to hit a lower resolution of almost 900p. And the reason for that is because there are times in which the game does kind of like a split screen, almost like 24, if you ever watched that TV show, style of thing. And essentially what's happening is the game is rendering itself twice in these two views, and because of that it has to split the resolution and dumb it down in order to maintain that 30 frames. Because of that, there's a couple instances where the pixel count is actually 900p for resolution, which is ridiculous when you think about these new consoles, but considering what the game is going for, what it's trying to do, it makes sense. With that being said, the biggest issue here I can say with the technical aspect of this game is that it can look a little glitchy at times. There's definitely texture pop, and that's probably the biggest thing I've noticed throughout my entire run of this game. And again, you can definitely notice that resolution gap. So there's those things to definitely, be concerned about. But if you're a fan of old school horror games, you're a fan of Silent Hill, I think this is the best Silent Hill type game I've played since like maybe Haunting Ground. So, and we've seen other developers try to make this style of game in the last like decade. No one I think has ever come good enough or close. I mean, hell, we had 2 American developers try their hand at Silent Hill a couple years ago, and Silent Hill Homecoming is a pretty bad game. Downpour I give a pass to, but a lot of people really dislike Downpour. So if the rumors are true and Bloober Team are actually the people that are going to headline the next Silent Hill, I think that Silent Hill is in good hands. And I think especially here. The other thing that I want to highlight about the Medium is that when you look at Microsoft's long string of exclusives in the past generation, none of them had really good stories. I mean, think about it. Halo 5, terrible story. Gears 4 was fine. It was basically Star Wars Episode 7 for the Gears universe. Gears 5 tried to do some interesting things, but ultimately kind of fell short. So what are you left with? Rise, Son of Rome, Sunset Overdrive. I love that game to death, but I don't play it for its riveting story. And, a handful of Dead Rising games. In fact, Dead Rising 4 isn't even exclusive anymore. But when you look at the Microsoft exclusive games, one thing that they really weren't good with last generation was storytelling. And what I will say here is that The best and most positive thing that I can say about the Medium is that the story is really, really good. I think it's on par with some of the more recent Sony offerings. And again, I know that that's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. A lot of people are going to be like, no, it's not. I feel like it is. It's my opinion. I feel like Microsoft is heading in a great direction with their first-party studios. Now, Bloober Team, I don't believe, is a true first-party studio again yet. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that's probably going to happen. So, the Medium, it's about 8 hours long. It's pretty creepy. I will say that the best and most exciting parts of that game are the parts where the creature is chasing you. The creature is utterly terrifying. It's one of the creepiest things I've seen in a game in quite some time. And the voice work is probably the best part of why it's so creepy. And I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. Again, if you have Game Pass, it's a no-brainer. It's excellent. It's worth playing. If you don't have Game Pass, wait till it's on sale. Wait till it's like maybe around the $30 mark. I think that's the perfect price point. But I think in terms of starting off this generation and having a true exclusive game to their new platform, the Medium is a great doorway that maybe will open up to a brighter generation of exclusive games for the Xbox platform. So my final grade for this game is going to be a B+. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video review. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, until next time.